My name is Jack. I lost the protection of my parents at a young age, and it was my older brother David who raised me with great effort and care. Later, my brother married Ellie, and when she joined our family, she treated me with kindness and managed the household with great efficiency. I was deeply grateful to her, and at that time, our family life was filled with warmth and harmony. As time passed quietly, my feelings for sister-in-law Ellie began to subtly change without my realizing it. I still remember that summer night when my brother David was away for work, leaving just me and Ellie at home. She was wearing a thin nightgown, preparing a late-night snack for me in the living room. Under the soft lighting, her hair was slightly messy, and a few stray locks gently brushed against her cheek. The gentle, yet slightly weary expression on her face stirred something deep within me, and my heart began to race. A complicated feeling slowly took root in my heart. From that moment on, I couldn't help but pay close attention to every movement of sister-in-law Ellie. Her every smile and every word seemed to have a special power that deeply captivated me. There was another time when I faced setbacks at work and was feeling utterly down. Sister-in-law Ellie quickly noticed my distress. She sat beside me, gently comforting me, and even reached out to stroke my back. At that moment, I couldn't suppress the emotions inside me any longer and suddenly turned to embrace her tightly. Ellie froze for a moment, her eyes filled with shock and panic. She instinctively pushed me away with force, then hurriedly retreated to her room. I sat there in a daze, filled with regret and guilt, knowing that I had crossed a line of ethics and morality. Since then, the atmosphere at home became unusually tense and awkward. I deliberately avoided Ellie's gaze, and she no longer interacted with me in the familiar way she once had. Yet, despite our efforts to restrain ourselves, the feelings hidden deep inside us would occasionally surface through subtle glances and small gestures. One day, while searching for some documents in my brother David's study, I accidentally discovered some shocking photos and letters. When I saw what was inside, I was overwhelmed with astonishment and anger. It turned out that my brother had been seeing another woman and was carefully planning to transfer his assets and abandon Ellie. Without hesitation, I took these pieces of evidence to Ellie. Upon seeing them, her tears flooded from her eyes, and it was clear that she had been completely in the dark about her husband's betrayal. Amid the extreme pain and anger, the relationship between Ellie and me began to subtly shift. We started meeting in private more frequently, discussing how to handle my brother's betrayal and protect Ellie's legal rights. During this process, our emotional bond deepened, and eventually, we crossed the previously insurmountable boundary of ethics and became intimately involved. However, things didn't end there. Just as we were preparing to expose my brother's vile actions, Ellie suddenly changed her attitude. She told me that my brother had promised to return to the family, cut off ties with the other woman, and transfer all of his assets to her name. As a result, she decided to forgive him and asked me to forget everything that had happened. I couldn't accept this reality. I felt as if I had been heartlessly used by Ellie, and my heart was filled with anger and pain. Just as I was sinking into despair, the situation took a stunning turn. It turned out that after discovering my brother's betrayal, Ellie had been deeply pained, but she didn't intend to let him off easily. She had cleverly used my feelings for her, intentionally becoming close to me, with the goal of letting my brother discover the ambiguous relationship between us, thus provoking his jealousy and anger. In order to win back Ellie, my brother not only promised to return to the family but also willingly handed over all his assets to her. In reality, Ellie had never developed feelings for me beyond familial affection.